Oof. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, people of all bathrooms, please welcome to the stage your host and compere for the evening, me, Ryan Woods. Hello. Woo! That was very neat. Lovely. Okay, so first of all, let's do some house maintenance and such. Gailey's at the back. I don't know if you noticed that table that we put in front of that whole booth to stop people sitting in that whole booth. But it's a minor inconvenience to have so many of your backs to us. So could you, some of you at least, scooch into those chairs so we've got some audience? And then the half family, if we could have you scooch into some of these chairs. Comedians, move out the way. If we could have some of the half family move into the middle for us, please. It just makes everything a lot easier for the cadence of the night, and then that way you can direct our material to you rather than in a scattergun around the room. What are you scared of? It is very comfy, but
I don't want to leave.
They really don't. I'm not going to make them. Are you all right, on the twist?
On the twist is fine.
Okay, fabulous. I'm still gonna do crowd work with you, though. That's fab. Now, some rules to the comedians. First of all, we're going to do 5 spots for everyone. At 4 minutes, we'll give you the light. Cool. Meg's going to give you the light at 4 minutes. That means you've got 1 minute left. We'll give you the second light at 5 minutes. That's your cue to leave. And if you're still not left shortly after that, I don't know, we'll get someone to try and run you over. And then also to the comedians and to myself, this place has a zero tolerance policy on drugs. So no smoking joints, no rolling your joints here. I'm not allowed to roll my joints here, so you're definitely not allowed to roll your joints here. You know? Please don't get me sacked or cancelled on night one. Any other rules for the comics? No, that's pretty much it. Okay. For the lovely audience, thank you, girlies, for shifting over. Use the sound. Give us a cheer if you've been to a comedy night before. Okay, so a bit of a mixed bag. Give us a cheer if you've never been to a comedy night before. Wait, and then there were some people who didn't cheer for either, who were like, I don't want to get involved. That's fine. So for those of you who've never been to a comedy night before, the way it'll work, please turn your phones to silent or off or whatever. You can take pictures if you like. I'm not going to, who's going to stop you? But I don't get why you would. We are taking pictures and video for posterity's sake. So if that is something that bothers you, I don't know. Also, please no heckling while the acts are on. When I'm on stage, by all means, feel free to chat to us. You feel like you've got chatty cafe energy. I feel like me and you're going to have a lovely time just chatting all night. That sounds terrible. Sorry, Half. Straight away, I've already put... You know what? I'm not going to talk to you again now. Half brother, I'll talk to you instead. No, with that hairline, that's fine. No, that was mean. I mean for it to be mean. Generally, my vibe here is to try and pull off a reverse Paul Smith, where instead of being like, what you do, Ernest? Ha ha ha, pedo. Like, that, no one needs that in their life. What I'm going to do is like, hey Ernest, what's your bag? And then I'm going to find something nice about you, like you got cool hair, looks like you're going through one form of Super Saiyan or another. And that's something we can both get on with, you know? Yep. And it might not be funny, but it will be nice. That's my aim. It's my aim is to be Ernest, not you, but the general concept. Yeah, you're you, so it can't be you, and it can't be Beyonce, because Beyonce's already Beyonce, so third place is this. Now, we've got more people coming. Hello. You've got hair like Trent from The Independent. What's his name? Out of Ted Lasso. Oh, that's going to bother me all night. Someone get Google on the phone. Any other rules? Oh yeah, so no chatting while the acts are on. You can chat to me, feel free to heckle me. Don't heckle the act. Some of them are new, and some of them are very gentle and lovely, and won't know how to handle your heckles. And some of them are absolute bastards who will put you in £4,000 worth of therapy. And I'll be honest, you don't want that at this young point in your lives. It's a lot of money. It's more than you think. Now, hello. Would you want to come in and watch this comedy show that we're doing? It's just about to eat. No, you can't eat in here. That's absolutely fine. Eat at the back, or you can stand there and then come and join us in a bit. Sounds either. Fabulous curtains. There's curtains next to you, but I'm not poking my head through them because they were a nightmare to put where they were. Right. Is there anything else I need to do? I think I've done all the rules. Cool. In that case, I'm going to try and get to know some of you that I don't know already, because I can see a lot of familiar faces in here. I'm not going to chat to you because I've already fucked that up, and I'll work with two of you. Now, that means there's people either a far distance away or it's these two over here. So I'm going to come to these two over here because they were fun when I was setting up before. What are your two names?
I'm Neil.
You're Neil.
I'm Hayley.
And you're Hayley. Fabulous Neil and Hayley. And you two, I'm assuming, are a couple?
We've known each other for a month.
You've known each other for a month?
Yeah,
okay. Hang on. Knowing someone for a month's not wooable. Like I know my fella, like the guy in the shop for like that same amount of time, and that's just a normal interaction. So Hayley and Neil, you've known each other for about a month, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, because you've got timeless energy though, so like this could be something beautiful. Like, is it a romantic thing or a work thing? A romantic thing, get in. Sound, Hayley, what's your favourite thing about Neil? At this 1 month point in, he makes you laugh, get in. And Neil, apart from dead ass though, what's your favourite thing about Hayley?
You know, when she messages me some things on WhatsApp, I kind of laugh at them. I won't say what they are, but...
Okay. So I'm going to take the wholesome route out of this interaction and say what he likes about her is a sense of humour. But when most fellas say, I like a girl because she's got a sense of humour, what that generally means is she laughs at his jokes. But this guy, wholesome as fuck, he values her because she makes him laugh. That is a solid foundation. I wish you two all the best. Nice. Wasn't funny, but it was nice, and that's my whole vibe. The funny people, they're coming up next. And speaking of which, I'm about to bring him on. He's genuinely one of my favourite people on the circuit. Out of all of the comedians here, he's the one that I trust the most to A, be funny, and B, not get me cancelled. So, ladies, gentlemen, people of all the bathrooms that you like, start stamping your feet and clapping your hands and making all the noise in the world for the very talented Just Neil!
Hello, it's great to be here with you all. I shit myself coming up because I thought my flies were undone, which happened twice yesterday. It's no avail. It's not a good starting joke. If you can't be funny, be earnest, right? You like comedy, yeah? Humour, whimsy, witty remarks, yeah? I've got loads of those, so many, but I can't, they're in my pocket, so I can't get them. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I'm 27 years old. I still live with my mum.
Come on, cheer it!
Cooler than you. But I'll be honest, after nearly 30 years of living there, the relationship has changed. All she does these days is she just tends to sit in her urn. It's not been very productive, really. Like, I've been on her, like, at least moisturised, you know what I mean? She's looking ashy. You're laughing, but she is, like, dead. No, but, like, in a funny way. You know what I mean? Like, I could just be, like, at home playing PlayStation, not thinking about it, but instead I keep her alive by talking about her in the urn on the mantle. But I've been thinking about it, because, like, I'm not religious, but it's nice to think that when you lose someone, they've gone somewhere nice. And I know where she is. She's down. Not hell, bear in mind, it's not hell. If you go past hell, straight through the other side of the earth, you end up in Australian heaven. Because it is my opinion, you don't love a pack of fags and a tinny without going to where you want to be. You know what I mean? My dad, however, he is up there. He's a pilot. I'm not asked what he's doing. One time he raised his hand to me.
See you later.
That's what he said. But no, life's been going good for me. It's been going alright. I've got a new job. Guess what it is?
Stripper.
I wish it was a stripper. You know, I don't know if that would be. Some jobs you could squeeze it in, you know, just as a bit of extracurricular. But no, I'm actually. First I'll say this: do any of you like get real like sense of self-importance or feel better about yourself when you start a new job and everyone there is just like not as smart as you? Yeah, you with it? Well, I work with people with learning disabilities, so not every job, I guess. But seeing as I am now working as a hero, I don't use the R word. I don't use it because I work with them. But they they're rascals, you know what I mean? But they are the other R word as well. Rapscallions. Got like 15 more of these, we can keep going. But you should never say that word. It's not a good word. You know what I mean? You can just call somebody an idiot. It does the job. Or like the Scousers do, call someone a sausage. Just get creative with it. Have fun. But I have thought over time there is contextually one point you can say that word. Involves a bit of setup. Some of you, I don't think, fit the criteria. You have to have a house. You have to have a car and a job you've paid off. Not a job you've paid off. A job and a car you've paid off. Fucking hell. My heart. And you look out the door, look out the window one day, and you see the workmen outside that have been doing fuck all for 8 months. They're gone. And you say to your lovely partner, "Oh my God, the road's finally been retarred." Isn't that good? And then you get in your car that you've paid off and you head off to your job that pays well, and you hit a bump, don't you? A bump in the road. There's a pothole. They fucked it. Those rascals. But no, I don't have that job anymore. Flitting around the word too much. But I do work in care still. I work in a different brand of care. And boy, are those guys retired. My God. I can't tell you how retired those guys are. They're so retired, they ruin the housing market. And they are the R word. Racist. Incredibly racist. And I've not thought of an end to this bit. And I don't think racism is the thing that we should talk about to end it. So let's end on a lighter note, eh? Oh God, you know that wily character, Jesus Christ? Heard of him? Heard about this guy? Well, when they killed him, the Romans, clever bastards that they are, had a few ideas. They even held a vote. In the end, I think they fucking nailed it. Thanks guys, you've been great.
Daniel, ladies and gentlemen. So handsome. That was fab. Nice one, Jack. I'm gonna crack on because we've got a lot of acts to get through this whole evening. We haven't got that many in the first section though, so I'm gonna bring our next one straight to the stage. Before I do, I will say this about Jack Neal. He hosts the open mic that genuinely is the one that has the keys to my heart, and so it's round the corner. It's on Sundays. It's at the place called Round the Corner. It's not literally, the place called Round the Corner on Kempston Street on Sundays. There's a writer's room for all you comedians to go and get better at writing stuff, and there's an open mic there as well that you can go and watch if you'd like to see more of Jack. Now, speaking of people who run open mics, I'm going to bring on another comedian who runs an open mic. This guy is very good, all the way from Manchester. He's a doctor. Ladies and gents, people of all genders, please clap and cheer and whoop for the amazing Benniker!
Hi. I do have access to my jokes. I've got a free hand, so okay, there we go. Okay, so this is an open mic. I've got some new stuff to try. To be honest, I didn't really think audience was actually going to turn up, but it's great. It's great that they have. And yeah, I love open mics. The thing with jokes is when you do open mics is they don't talk about this much, but some of the higher up comedians do the same jokes we do, but they're more powerful, so it doesn't get spoke about much. So this is a bit embarrassing, but I need to make a legal disclaimer that all the jokes I do were written by James Acaster. I'm socially awkward. Is that coming across? So I can't tell because I'm quite good at masking. So whenever I go somewhere that requires social interaction and I'm trying to get stuff done, I tend to bring somebody with me. So like the barbers, the dentists. I went to the barbers, asked them, "Can you make my beard look more presentable?" And they looked at my sister and said, "There's nothing we can do to your wife to make you look less gay." I've got autism. I only got into comedy for the routine. I've got autism. I'd never survive if I were homeless because I hate change. I've been thinking about technology and how it kind of messes up a lot, but also it's quite advanced and real. And Elon Musk has been talking about this idea of downloading music straight to the mind. I think one morning I'm just going to wake up like, shit, I've just been logged out of my brain. Yeah, when I think of jokes and stuff, like I don't really utilize technology well enough. I'm lying in bed and I actually tell Alexa to add jokes to my shopping list. But then I forget I've done it and I go shopping and it's like flour, eggs, AIDS. AIDS is before their time at the back there. Salmon, avocado, Nazi salute. What aisle was that? Aisle Hitler. Dating's changed, isn't it? Used to be that the man paid for the woman. Now women aren't considered property. I lost my wallet today. I've been having a very bad day. I lost my wallet and it had my driving license in it. So now I officially wank to all categories of porn. Because they've uploaded they're using my ID. Okay. Did you hear this in the news? A man got arrested for murdering someone. He was crying because he was really upset that he couldn't play GTA 6. He was upset that he couldn't play GTA 6. You've actually just killed somebody. That's GTA 10. I don't like superhero movies because they're just not realistic enough. Like there are hundreds of male superheroes and none of them have been caught up in the Me Too movement. Tony Stark would definitely be in the Epstein files. All right, I like to just work out who the nerds are. Yeah. Okay, I've got OCD, so I crave symmetry. And now one of my nans has just died. Right, that's all I got. Thank you, goodbye.
Nice one, Bellica. Okay, so let me just have a quick nose at that. Yep, next one is awesome. Jesus Christ. Woof. Sorry, I got very overstimulated by biceps. Don't do that as well. Dude, Jesus Christ, Ryan Tustin, these pants are tight enough. Ladies and gents, your next act is overstimulating the fuck out of me, so I'm going to get out of here before I pop a boner. Ladies and gents, people of all bathrooms, please start clapping your hands and cheering and stamping for the amazing Jack Ryan Tustin!
Hello, I am Ryan. The other one. Thank you for having me. Normally, I walk into the new year like a celebrity fleeing a motor collision, full of cocaine and excuses. But, despite global circumstances, 2025 was actually one of my better years. So I want to talk about one small victory I had while the world burned, which is that I have been going to the gym now consistently for 3 whole years. Thank you very much. And in fact, it has been going so well that this year I may even pick up a weight. Just to see what the fuss is about. Obviously I'm joking. You don't just wake up looking like this. You'd be gutted, wouldn't you? Oh no, I look exactly like that guy. That is so inconvenient. Does this mean he looks just like me? Is this a Freaky Friday situation? It's a Monday. What does that mean? What's his dick look like? Better say. Started going to the gym at a particular low point. Decided I was going to get into the best shape of my life. And if you discount my arthritis, my tendonitis, my torn meniscus, and the fact I can no longer raise my arms above my shoulders, I'd say mission accomplished on all fronts. Of course, it's no longer enough just to lift progressively heavier weights, if you ask the internet. Apparently, if you don't consume a specific hormone derived from a flower that's found only in central Uzbekistan, you basically miss your whole workout. I thought that one. I'm very sorry. We've got all these different supplements, right? And I never bought into any of it up until about 6 months ago. And now I take 5 milligrams of creatine each and every morning. And I know that one is working because I've started calling everyone bro. Lots of utility, underrated honorific is bro. Lots of utility in the gym. Great set, bro. Hey, bro, mind giving me a spot? Bro, stop rubbing my shoulders. Trying to get his PB. My gym's weird. I do like it though. formed a little community, started to recognise people with something in common. Because I know, even if I've never spoken to them before, that every single person in there with me hates themselves. Why do you think you make those noises? It's very little to do with the weight, much more with unresolved trauma. And if you hang around the squat rack for long enough, eventually you'll hear the whole thing. It's too loud for this. Are you happy now, mother? They must be thinking that's weird. Obviously there are levels. Those circuit training psychos on the middle floor, they've got some demons. Join the army, you know what I mean? Don't be bringing that P90X energy over here when you know right and proper I'm trying to phone in leg day. And when I started going to the gym, all I really cared about was looking better, which there is nothing wrong with. But as with any discipline pursued over a long period of time, it also teaches you about yourself as a person. Like one of the things that I have learned is that I am a filthy sex pervert. Some people think you know shit, but I swear it was news to me. I don't want to be that guy. I certainly don't make anyone else uncomfortable. But I just want to do my bit and get out. But they put mirrors everywhere in that building. So every 5 minutes, my train of thought is like, okay, last set, nice and easy. Just would you look at the arse on him? That was a joke about assumptions. And I was only creeping for the purposes of the bit. Now I will say, obviously I'm still on my fitness journey, but already my confidence is shot way up. All I will say is that dysmorphia is real, but these days I am learning to love my body for what it can do, rather than hating on it because I wish that it was something else. And besides, a bit of timber has some advantages. Like I actually used to live with one of these 0% body fat year-round shreddy people, and I've got to say, he was cold as shit, ladies and gentlemen. And mad occasion, shivering, and not a little bit, like an orphan in a Dickens novel, just That's all I got. I'm still Ryan. One hug, one please.
Get in. Ryan's listening, ladies and gentlemen. That was boss. Ryan is in the best shape of his life, not for nothing. I'm also in the best shape of mine. Thanks, man. Basically, what happened was my wife chucked a piss-covered stick at us, and I went, I'm already like pushing 40. I can't be an old and fat dad. I was like 17 though. I was like, I can't be an old and fat dad. What am I gonna do? And then my body went shit, and then my bum went okay. And basically, for the last 2 years, I've had stress-related IBS and proved myself relatively thin. Anyway. That's enough about my bowels. I'm going to bring on our final act of this section. You all for one more act in this section? Yeah, get in. Ladies and gentlemen, please, you're just going to have a fucking great time. This guy is fucking balls to the wall, hilarious. So start stamping your feet and clapping your hands and making all the noise for the amazing Simon Trudell!
You will not be clapping in a few minutes. Okay, I'm using my phone because I don't know half my jokes. So before I start, I want to share some really good news. I've just been cast in a new Jeffrey Epstein film. It's a big part. I play the island. The only reason why I'm actually not in the Epstein file is because I can't fit, so small wins. A bit about myself. I'm not the guy from Shaun of the Dead, and I don't have any pronouns because I ate them. What have we got? So I've just signed my wife up to one of those charity boxing fights. You know, the ones where you can raise money for a good cause and lose a bit of weight in the process. Unfortunately, it did not go well for her. She lost in the first round to a brutal punch to the stomach, causing her internal bleeding. But it's not all... Oh, sorry. There are some good news. In that same match, I won my first fight. Bad news, we had to delay the baby shower by 12 months. And my wife hates it when I tell that joke because she's just given birth recently. That's right, I've had sex. I say sex, she calls it waterboarding because when I'm on top I sweat in her mouth. I'm probably legally not allowed to go on top, not my size. But anyway, yeah, so we've just had a baby girl and I was really disappointed at first. I always wanted a son. And then I found out how much Bonnie Blue makes on OnlyFans. So, yeah. That's all I can remember up to. 1 second. They get worse, I'm so sorry. So let's have a look. So I do get a bit of joy from embarrassing my wife. was at a recent midwife appointment, and midwife asks us, do we have any questions? And I turn around and go, how long after birth can we start having sex? My wife gets embarrassed, she's red, she's giving me the eye, she's pissed off. Midwife turns to us and goes, it's usually a few weeks. So I turn to the midwife and go, but what about with my wife? It's horrible, that joke, it's fucking horrible. I told that joke recently in Rotherham, and now I'm there. Let's have a look what we got. So one of the perks of having an extremely small penis is that you can sell your dick pics online to paedophiles to make a bit of extra money. Sorry, Hugh Edwards, that was my bad. Yeah, I was online. This is horrible, this joke. I was online the other day, and I came across this advert selling realistic, lifelike sex dolls, starting from £2,000. £2,000 for a sex doll. And I thought to myself, it's cheaper to adopt. It's horrible. I didn't write that one. My kid did. So the DVLA have just announced new guidelines to drivers on what to do when they approach a roundabout with the St George's Cross painted in the middle. You now have to give far right of way. One for your reforms. So look, breaking news this morning. We all heard the story coming out of the Middle East. Apparently Hamas has just recruited Wallace, you know, the claymation guy, and will be featuring in a new upcoming special called Wallace and Bomb It. You can tell your kids that if you can have them, yeah. So I am a big guy, and I am desperately trying to lose weight. And it was only recently I got over my fear of vegetables. That's right, I finally built up enough courage to turn off my nan's ventilator. Honestly, you don't know my nan. Can't do that joke. No, I actually did lose 4 stone last year, and it was my sister's fault, really. She never told me she had AIDS. This is fine, it's a joke, it's written down. So, did you all see John Cena's last match recently? So his last wrestling match, he tapped out with a big smile on his face. Unlike those Make-A-Wish kids. Yeah, one for wrestling fans. I was feeling a bit peckish the other day, so I went into the kitchen, asked Alexa, how do you make a Swiss roll? Alexa goes, stick them in a ski resort with some sparklers. Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it? So I think that's all I'm allowed to say. Yeah, that's fine, thank you.
Get in, sounds there, ladies and gentlemen. That guy is like the master of the dark humour. I try and do dark humour, but instead of doing a dark punchline, I say something silly, like, what do you call a gay candle? Melton John! That one's fine, because all candles are gay, so no one gets offended. Right, we're going to have ourselves a short break. We're going to have a 10-15 minute break. Go to the bar, get yourself something to eat or something to drink, go to the toilet, do whatever grown-ups do in the toilet. Don't do cocaine, I don't want to get cancelled. And we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to try and figure out the music. Bye!